been on a personal quest to monetize my channel and try to earn a living on YouTube. Like you, I've been tried and tested formulas for YouTube success for a while, and to say I've been pouring sweat into trying to earn an income from what I enjoy doing is an understatement. Everyone has been on a personal quest to try to monetize their channel on this platform and earn revenue from it. But amongst the way to success, there are some obstacles and smoke sellers willing to exploit some people's desperation for success to earn a quick buck from your hard-earned money. And not everything that glitters on this platform is gold. In today's video, I'm going to deep dive in the world of YouTube gurus, their grift, and how to recycle the same dried out points that basically nothing to make you a pawn into their game of personal gain. This video isn't going to be a step-by-step guide on how to grow on YouTube at all. In fact, I'm not appropriate to exploit that overused niche at the moment. However, what I'm going to tell you is a guide on what kind of YouTube guru personalities to avoid, so you know where the grift precisely is. This has been a case study across several examples of YouTube channels that I will never recommend watching because their content is an absolute wreck of garbage that is basically useless fluff information at least. So, join me on this journey to discover the grift behind YouTube gurus and how they exploit your desperation for money.
In every game in con, there is always an opponent and there is always a victim. The more control the victim thinks he has, the less control he actually has.
The name's Lyle Landley, and I come before you good people tonight with an idea. Probably the greatest... Oh, it's not you. It's more of a Shelbyville idea.
There's a type of grift of YouTube gurus that recycle in general the same tried out general common sense advice for YouTube growth that basically tell nothing of utility, even to the point of advising to grind weekly if not daily content to the platform to great extremes and spam the algorithm, and even exhaust the viewer or creator, which content boils down to producing normie tier garbage that will only appeal to the corporate image of YouTube and not as much to the viewer. These YouTube gurus only know of the usual cliche of the Let's Play channel, the blogger, or the tutorial channel that is beyond generic and cookie cutter, without taking into account other genres of videos that are non-conventional and can perhaps have more success on their own, like say meme channels. In these YouTube guru channels, there are literally rarely no mention of meme channels, and these have been dominating YouTube for literal ages, literally. I know you're probably stumbling upon this video after trying to look on YouTube for a way to successfully grow a YouTube channel instantly or easily. Spoiler alert, nobody can do it quicker and easier than anybody else. The real irony of this, and here's the kicker, is that when you look for that, these sorts of YouTube guru channels have found a real quick success for the most part, momentarily speaking, but they have successfully exploited your desperation to be able to earn money on YouTube for some other reason. It's not like they don't know their target audience, and even if my video may be a rarity in the search results, you are the one of their target audience, an easily emotionally exploitable and probably gullible YouTube content creator who's looking for the easy way to success. And you look at these YouTube gurus' sub counts, tens if not hundreds of thousands of subscribers on their channels. The sad reality, however, is that the rest of the videos do not reflect that illusion of success. Normally, in nearly every one of these channels that I found, the sub counts are enormous, probably way bigger than you and me, but the viewers normally are all over the place, even to the point that of not even barely scratching 10,000 views for a 50,000 subscriber channel. What's probably going on is that they only got their one and only golden egg for their YouTube goose and nothing else worked. What seems to be ironic of this is that how they boast of being on the same situation as you, then have it somewhat easy to succeed, growing on YouTube exponentially and having all of these metrics, when the reality is that they are pretty much one-trick ponies. Generally speaking, these channels are willing to create the illusion that you can also achieve it in order to exploit your desperation so they can easily earn money on YouTube. But as you will see in some of these examples, it's not just YouTube where they find revenue. Some even find schemes that siphon money from you selling false hope and making you throw away money in hopes they can teach you something new, when in reality, they only sell advice that you could get for free on YouTube. Let's see some of these case studies of some of the channels that are involved in this grift, so we can dive deeper and see how they operate.
So you want to start a fast-growing YouTube channel in 2022? Well, I was in your shoes literally a year ago, and I want to show you exactly how I got this one video to over 500,000 views.
The first channel we're going to look at, being at least the least offensive one of the bunch, is a channel by the name of YouTube Dominators with over 50,000 subscribers. This very video has got over 400,000 views by the time I'm writing this. However, the crude reality of this channel is that aside of the very few select videos, this is one of the very few ones who outperform by miles the rest of his videos, which for the most part don't even scratch 10,000 views for about 50,000 subscribers. Notice how the guy also apparently stopped uploading 5 months ago.
Oh my god, we just hit 1 million subscribers, are you kidding me?
It's funny how he has edited with a web inspector the live sub count of his channel.
I will say, it would have been a lot easier if I had my free 1,000 subscriber guide. It breaks down a simple 6-step process that's going to help you get your first 1,000 subscribers, and you can download it in the description below.
It's also funny how he mentions with this when the link to for the free 1,000 subscriber guide is non-existent in the video's description. It's also nowhere to be seen in his channel information nor channel links. It doesn't exist either in any other of his YouTube videos on his channel. So I have no idea what happened here. Either he's outright lying, or either he's at one point put this guide in the description, but he had to delete it for some reason. Either way, it's a bit dodgy to say it in this video. The video goes on for a lengthy bit about how in order to avoid all of the mistakes you can do in your YouTube channel, you have to pass through your mistakes and learn from them. For the first quarter of the video, which can be a bit of a redundant advice and very vague. Not only that, but it seems its second purpose is to pad the video further for watch time by telling you examples of his videos that didn't work, only to reveal the so-called strategies already when you already wasted your time with nonsensical fluff. And the first one is, understand what your audience wants.
And that's the first thing I really needed to do, or anyone starting a brand new YouTube channel. Obviously, your niche is going to give you basically a general idea of exactly who'd be interested in your type of content. So I knew that I was going after YouTube creators that wanted to grow their channel. I needed to understand exactly what my audience was going through and exactly how they were feeling going through these specific problems.
Now, what he's suggesting here is to basically read the comments on other people's videos in your same niche and deeply analyze them to see what your audience will really want. There's a couple problems with this. First of all, unless you have a really mind-reading superpowers, you'll never know in any exact science what your audience really wants. Maybe comments can be even ironic and not portray the reality of what your audience wants. On a case-by-case basis, this can be even useless, and it's the same kind of fluff advice anyone else can give you equally on this platform. This only seems like you're exploiting human emotions for profit's sake, judging by what you try to make out of random YouTube comments in your so-called competition, which seems not very human-like. Everyone on YouTube, at least where past social relationships go, is looking for an actual human to relate to, not a goddamn robot sociopath person. Second, it seems like a bit of forced competition to sit through and spy on other channels. YouTube is not really that much of a competitive space except for corporations or corporate mindsets, these ones not being any natural to the platform at all. The general mindset of a content creator is a collaborative one where each creator, depending on who it is, will be willing to stand by another creator depending on the situation. And this super competitive space where channels are basically trying to spy on one another, stealing their views, is perhaps an oddity on this platform. I think what the guy is going for is to teach the viewers just to trial and error, which is not just advice everyone else can give you for free in the same platform, but also it is something everyone has tried on this platform for ages. It's common sense advice that doesn't need to be said.
This way I knew what had already been done, so I'm not reiterating the same thing. Instead, I can make a video that told my perspective and how I was able to promote my own channel. By doing this, I completely changed my mindset from thinking this topic is oversaturated to looking at oversaturation as an advantage, because I let the other creators tell me exactly what not to do, so I could get creative and start showing my side of the story.
This is just a fancy way to tell your viewers be original, explaining almost in verbose with a lot of empty gallery words. And it's pretty ironic because he's basically doing the exact same thing than the rest of the channels of his niche, creating another video on how to grow your YouTube channel. Perhaps he should listen to his own advice for once and making something completely original instead of relying on this oversaturated niche, right? Except, you can't as much. YouTube is completely oversaturated with nearly every single kind of niche possible, and trying to find an original idea these days that will make you succeed and grow, unless you have the right connections, is pretty much a rarity. Your brain doesn't usually force itself into discovering a new niche idea enough to know what already is that nobody else is doing, since it's a given that in this platform everything and anything is offered on the table. If this sounds like doomer perspective to you, I'm sorry, but that's how real life on YouTube works. Again, the grift is not as noticeable in this channel. You can probably see that this free 1000 subscriber guy is non-existent, but still, the guy goes on out this way to profit off at ad revenue by just even exploiting and telling to exploit human emotions. Just remember that YouTube viewers are human beings and not cattle. Unlike this guy does, you should not treat your audience like cattle or a currency. But the next example is going to be the most egregious.
If you're a small YouTuber right now, by the end of this video, you're gonna know exactly what you need to begin doing so that you can begin to grow faster on YouTube during, quite frankly, the easiest time ever to grow on YouTube. In fact, I just helped this creator gain 100,000 followers in just 30 days, this creator 100,000 followers in 30 days, and this creator also over 100,000 followers in 30 days. And these people are no different than you. They simply took advantage of the blueprint that I'm gonna be sharing with you in this video. And if you do the same exact thing, I guarantee you'll begin to grow quicker on YouTube.
Okay, slow down. Talking really fast is usually a psychological tactic to overload your brain, but let's analyze the Plito's first 3 channels he said that helped grow on YouTube. The first channel is called Flare D. It's mainly a Minecraft Shorts channel with 175,000 subscribers, but his shorts barely scratch for the most part his sub count. Some videos are a hit, but many are a miss in this channel. The views between shorts videos are all over the place, so it's pretty obvious something must not be working out of this guy's advice. The second channel is called Fearless Mama Birth, and this is a way worse example because for the over 400,000 subscribers he's got, she barely makes it to 10,000 views with her shorts videos, and again the views of sometimes are all over the place. Something must not be working in here. The final channel is called Japan On. Again, for the amount of subs he's got, the views are either a hit or miss for most of the time, and a very few videos is surpassing subscriber count, but a lot of more videos don't even scratch it. If this Robert Benjamin guy didn't want to sell me the idea that he helps YouTube channels be successful, he'd not show me mediocre channels that have a mediocre kind of metrics for the subscriber size. This might even tie on to his YouTube Shorts mentorship program, which is valued on a total cost of $297 US. But when you go to the checkout, the price jumps up, at least for me, to $360 US approximately. This jump is due to the immense taxes of $60. $60 in taxes! Are you kidding me? Even, let me be clear off the bat, I'm not willing to pay off the mentorship program, not just because I don't have the disposable income at the moment to pay it off, but also because I don't have a critical thinking mind enough to tell this is a website that's meant to scam me. The curriculum itself is of mentorship content seems like the same kind of deal you get for free on YouTube when it comes to the tips they teach you, and the whole website is designed to funnel you into a feeling of FOMO. Limited spots left, hurry up, limited time offer only. There are although a couple testimonials on the checkout page of the website. The first one is from a channel called Tubok with over 3 million subscribers. The views on the shorts videos that are entirely composed this channel jump all over the place since they don't even get close to the 3 million subs he's got. The second channel is called Reese's Random and has 100,000 subscribers. Again, this channel barely makes it, with his latest video not even reaching 1,000 views. If this guy wanted to sell me that his mentorship program will lead to success, he'd actually show channels that perform way better than that. I asked, by the way, these two channels for a comment if they have any association with a mentorship program, and they have yet to reply, so I'll keep you updated on my social media if they actually do, although at this point I doubt they will actually reply. Back to the video.
If you want to grow quicker on YouTube, Instagram, or TikTok, I literally upload a video about how to grow on these platforms every single day. In addition to that, I created a free YouTube growth course that'll share with you things like how to go viral and whether or not you should be using hashtags that you could get at the link in the pinned comment below. Again, it is 100% free. I strongly suggest you get into it.
The course is not free. This is a lie. He's willing to lie about the pricing of the course or mentorship program, which is obviously not a good look. And the video's advice, if not vague, can be as well useless fluff. Finding the right time to post, for instance, doesn't take into account that for some time zones, some people are asleep, and even the times you suggest are incredibly vague enough to not imply a specific time zone. 3 p.m. CEST Madrid time is not the same than 3 p.m. EDT and can mean a huge difference in all due honesty. Now, this might sound like personal experience, but the second bit of advice is about uploading shorts within an hour of wait in between didn't guarantee me good results. I know some of the shorts of mine did blow up at some point out of nowhere through the shorts feed, but that's pretty much it. It's mostly people accidentally finding the video through the shorts feed that aren't even related to the type of audience I'm catering to. The guy goes on to imply the idea that YouTube Shorts are the only way to succeed massively, for which I have a few problems. One, it sounds exploitable by the way he suggests, since he's only looking to exploit people's low attention spans with the lowest effort possible content for profit. Two, the evidence he suggests for success with YouTube Shorts is flimsy and has probably no backing whatsoever. And three, like I said under personal experience, is not really that much of a guaranteed way to succeed, since Shorts is a bit of a lottery gamble, especially for a really small channel like mine. The third tidbit of advice it gives is to upload multiple times a day. This is a death sentence for you and your content. This will quickly burn you out and leave no breathing room between videos. What is this, fucking dark set Phil? This is definitely not the recommended, since quality is the thing that brings in views more than quantity. It's also evident that you're going to bombard your viewers with a lot of low effort content and oversaturate them. Not to mention, there's nearly no creators with the time for this sort of tactic unless they already quit their job or education, which is incredibly risky for personal finances and can mean a huge gamble. Then he goes on to tell you should have a thumbnail which should invoke curiosity, which is advice that you can hear a lot in the rest of YouTube guru channels. And again, you'll never know by exact science which thumbnail works best, even if you spend a tremendous effort making one in order to increase your click-through rate.
If you're creating a video about the latest thing that Elon Musk did, I wouldn't have you as the thumbnail of the video.
You're in the thumbnail of this video. The fact that he goes on with the usual advice about good titles and good thumbnails and good metadata like every other channel of his click does is just baffling. At this point, it's common sense advice that every YouTuber big or small already does. But the topmost secret strategy that he suggests is creating shorts-based content based on top searches. I don't know what to say about this. If you look forward to exploit the top searches, chances are your competition is going to be extremely high, which means just because you use a top search doesn't mean it will guarantee you success within that top search. And then he funnels his viewers into selling his mentorship program, but the way he does it is just about absolutely scummy. Check this out.
Now, if you want to get guaranteed subscribers, like all the creators that I share with you in this video, then you need to keep watching this video, because I'm going to share with you exactly how I can tell you exactly what to post, what titles to use, what editing tricks to add into your content, and what topics you should be going after within your niche to guarantee that you get more subscribers on YouTube. If that sounds interesting to you, then keep watching this video. Finally, I just launched my YouTube Shorts mentorship program.
That's it. That's the thing. No natural transition, just selling you his YouTube Shorts mentorship program. Fucking piss, man. This guy has milked the fucking internet dry. And you want to know what's particularly funny about this guy? This might seem like a recurrent trend on all these channels, but this is a guy with over 300,000 subscribers on his channel. However, reality strikes when his videos barely make it to the 10,000 views mark, or even the 20,000 views mark to be more generous. At least if you're willing to teach me how to be successful on any platform, you'd be honestly having way better metrics than that. He does more than the same grift on other platforms as well, on Instagram and TikTok especially, but if you check his Instagram with 27,000 followers, he barely gets an average of 1,000 likes per post with an engagement rate below 5%. I can make either one of the two assumptions out of this. One can be either that his audience is not really interested in general with his stuff for the most part, or two can be either that he's faking followers. On TikTok, there are way more people calling out Robert Benjamin for being a scam than there are videos of his. Not to mention his TikTok account got banned. Pretty sussy, innit? When you look up Robert Benjamin's scam on Google, you'll find plenty of alleged testimonials about how they got scammed by his mentorship program by not having good results and not having their money back. I'm not willing to make quick assumptions that this is a scam since these are some serious allegations, but when your general outlook, especially on platforms like YouTube or TikTok or other social media, is this negative, it's very telling that you want to stay away from a grifter like this, especially considering you can get the same common sense advice for free. But this isn't over yet. There's one more channel we're covering that needs to be addressed.
The reason why 98% of YouTube videos don't get any views is because they don't implement the 10 key elements that go into making a viral video.
Meet Think Media. Same grift, different clothing. They also sell a masterclass on the description of the video, thinkmasterclass.com. This whole masterclass is meant to build a huge sensation of FOMO with a limited time offer stuff all around the page. In order to enter the free masterclass, you need to provide a name, an email, and a phone so they can send you a bunch of spam emails and text messages onto your inbox. After that, the masterclass is basically 1/4 of introductory fluff that serves no purpose, then the first so-called secret, which is already advice you can hear for free on YouTube, and then the last quarter is dedicated to funnel the viewers into selling an academy program. That's right, this whole free masterclass purpose is to be a sales funnel for the Academy program, which can cost 12 monthly payments of $97 or a single payment of $997. But you better hurry up, this is a limited time offer, limited spots only, FOMO, FOMO, FOMO. Notice also how the countdown timer, which seems fake and only creates the false sense of FOMO for a digital thing. Now, to assume they're really opaque with this sort of thing is an understatement. The main current trend and purpose of these videos is to just funnel sales into a course or a mentorship program, which only seem to teach you already stuff that you can get for free on YouTube. And if you think I have the disposable income to be able to infiltrate and pay off that course, you'd be mistaken. But look at the immense value that you're getting. Bullshit. It's stuff that you can learn from free. Moving on. To assume these videos have a secret formula that will obviously lead to guaranteed success on YouTube will be a mistake. If that was the case, everyone who watched these videos will already have enormous channels by now. The idea presented in this video is that you need a big idea for a video, which is not always something you can come up with nor get guaranteed success with. And it's literally the same stuff you can hear on plenty of these channels, like, what is the point? Well, the grift is pretty obvious. All these channels will want you to do is create soulless generic content without any passion, only with money in mind. And that's a pretty easy trap to fall into, especially for new creators. I've been on the internet for nearly my whole life and I built myself a whole shield against grifts like these. The saddest thing of all these sorts of videos and channels is that they exploit, although rather unsuccessfully for the most part, the desperation of many young YouTubers and content creators for easy profit, for stuff that doesn't even work 100% on themselves even. To those who go with a critical mind enough to notice a grift can tell these channels will be open to overly lie to their audience, even to the point of even try to scam them out of their money for false promises and empty results. And for what? Creating a bunch of generic faceless content with no value. What really brings in the views is the quality of the content, not the quantity. You can see many successful creators today, and they all take a lot of effort creating the content they make, and they don't have to always think of the money, because in the pursuit of YouTube fame, there's one thing that's evidently clear for those who know how the YouTube trip goes. Not everything that glitters is gold.